glorious revival, glorious redo, glorious revival.
Hello and welcome back to Team R.I.C.O's Off the Record, where you get to know a little bit more about your next favorite artist. I am your host and reluctant Adobe subscriber, Christian Smith. Thank you to Chris, Emily, Rico, Nico, and everybody else in the R.I.C.O family that isn't here right now for holding it down. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you to anybody that's watched it, that's subscribed, that's hit the bell, that's shared it, or has talked about it with their friends. Giant thank you. And a bigger one to Lily Enos. Thank you so much for coming all the way down to our humble little studio to come hang out with us for a little bit.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course, how's your day going?
Well, it's even better now that I'm here with you.
Oh, you're flattering. Thank you. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, Lily Enos is a singer-songwriter, is just pretty new to the scene, if I'm assuming, with releasing music.
Yeah, I'm definitely in my infancy.
I know that you have some new stuff coming out. An EP just dropped a video a couple months ago, but
Yeah.
we're going to go a little bit back to when you just started getting into it. So what do you remember, like, when you first started, like, getting into music?
So, I mean, I always loved music, and I think it was what I gravitated to primarily when I was super little. I remember singing more than talking as a really little kid. And then
any songs that you remember that you really liked from back then?
Oh, yeah. I remember my mother had Fleetwood Mac's Rumors on CD, and I had a little boom box that I would when I would see her on the weekends, I would sit on the bedroom floor with the boom box. I'd have all my stuffed animals in a circle.
A little listening party.
Yeah, with all my friends that I had it for. So, so.
I was like, Mr. Snuggles, you're really gonna like this album. It's really eclectic. It's beautiful.
Exactly. So even then, it was just being around classics like that. I remember like listening to Joni Mitchell, Carole King, James Taylor, all
had
of
a really good taste growing.
Yeah,
for a youngin', it was a pretty good taste.
Radiohead, throw some sad in there.
You gotta be like a sad child a little
exactly.
bit. That's how you raise emos, is if you just play a little bit of Radiohead in the womb, they come out emo.
Exactly. It's like missing, just a little angsty thing from the start.
Just a little angst. I didn't get into Radiohead till I was like way older. I was a kid and was like, this is weird. I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah,
super strange. I think my dad liked Radiohead, and I was just like,
my
why
dad
do you
loves Radiohead.
See, I don't know any artist that like my parents were into. I was like, ew, man, I don't want to listen to that. You like AC/DC.
It was the opposite for me. I think I was more connected to what my parents listened to than really what everyone else was listening to. And I was kind of a late bloomer with really discovering what everyone else was listening to.
Like the In Vogue type music.
Yeah. But I do really like In Vogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really do.
Fair enough. I love little coincidences like that. Like teenage years, what like really got like, was that when you started getting into singer-songwriters type stuff, when you want to start making your own music?
It was actually around probably 7 or 8 years old.
7 or 8 years old.
I discovered the Gorillaz.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah.
And there was this like compilation of like old videos of me as a little kid, and at the very end of it, this Easter egg was put on the DVD. It was the Clint Eastwood music video.
Hey, you're right on.
And I loved it, and something in me was just like, as an 8-year-old little girl, I was like, this is amazing. So I brought my easel out and I was trying to draw the characters in the video, and something in me was like, okay, like I want to try and actually sing and write my own songs and play the guitar. And it was mostly me kind of copying like Damon Albarn's voice.
I was about to say, shout out Damon Albarn.
Yeah,
shout
exactly.
Out. Super creative dude. Like everything he's ever touched has been like an amazing project.
Just incredible. Like he just is like, fuck you, I'm gonna do.
He was in Blur, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he in Blur? Do you like any Blur?
I do.
I love some Blur. I like Blur. Do you like Blur or Oasis more?
I would say Blur.
Really? Okay, that's like not a very popular opinion to have. That's really cool.
I like them both, but as far as like the sentimental value,
totally.
I would steer more towards
some good
Blur.
pop songs.
Yeah.
Both good. You can like both, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you're allowed to like both.
Am I forgiven?
We'll have to get the jury on that one. We'll talk to you about that
All
after.
right. You know, we'll figure that out.
What do you like remember like when you first started to write songs? Like maybe your first song? Do you remember?
God. So the very first song I remember writing.
It's always a hard question.
Oh God, I'm getting trauma flashbacks. Thanks.
No problem. Anytime. That's what we're for.
So it was actually a song. It was called "Overcross the Riverbank," and it was based.
A badass title though. That's kind of a cool title. And it was the
cut and paste of the melody to So there's a part in a Gorillaz song called "Fire Coming Out of the Monkey's Head."
I forget. Is that off Plastic Island?
It's off Demon Days.
Demon Days.
Yeah, and it's the song where Dennis Hopper kind of narrates the song, and then it goes into this sort of like acoustic sort of kind of country westernish sort of bridge.
Do that a lot. Super country to like twinge to it.
Yeah, like this kind of like affectation to it, and it was me sort of just cutting and pasting my own words into that little bridge that Damon Albarn did in the song, and then re-recording it on like a little 8-track with
everybody started with just an 8-track.
Yeah,
like everybody started with like an 8-track recorder.
Yeah, and then from there it was just because it always just starts with like imitating your heroes, you know?
That's all music is. All amazing bands, if you go far enough back, my apologies for the audio, Nico. If you go back far enough, it's always just like, oh yeah, this is just a Blink-182 cover band.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. You know.
Or, yeah, they're back. Do you listen to Blink-182 at all?
I don't.
I'm not a big fan of them anymore. Nah, I used to be a big fan growing up. They're all right, but like I don't know. There's it's like too like cheesy.
I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna really make everyone cry.
No, please do.
I hate Tom DeLonge's voice.
I don't like
anybody who sings that. Oh, that's my. I'm just. Oh my
god. Have you heard any like live videos of Tom DeLonge? Because I hold the same sentiment. Where like I like his song. I used to like his songwriting, and his voice back in the day was really good. But like it just devolved into like, well, yeah, it's like literally he saw the memes about him, was like, that's me. That's me. Yeah. Well, I wanna be. That's verbatim. Put me next to Tom DeLonge right here in the edit. It's about the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen videos of him live. Like I think there was one that was pretty popular where like, I don't know, like his guitar stopped or like the sound. I think I remember that one. And he was all like kind of flustered.
Oh man, that's strange, man. Such a strange individual.
I don't know. It's just interesting. I guess it's a generational thing where, you know, Blink-182 and bands like that, it's like they're the classics.
To us, yeah. Like, that was before my time, you know, growing up. The fact that people are like, oh, yeah, that's like retro music.
Yeah.
I'm like retro? I'm like, that was like high school. Yeah. That was not that long ago. Yeah, I don't know. I know they're in the news right now for, what, like $1,800 fucking nosebleed tickets or something.
That I didn't know. I knew there were
dude, the
reunion, but not the
ticket prices are like ridiculous. This is my anti-scalper message. If you scalp tickets, just fuck you. Just frankly, if you're doing it right now and I'm in your other tab, just close it. Just close it. Go fuck yourself. Please stop doing it. Because it's just like it ruins such a beautiful thing, live music.
Exactly.
You know? And
yeah, it's kind of gatekeeping it. It turns into this like elite sort of like you have to be a trust fund baby to go to a show.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like, you know, sure, people pay the rent scalping tickets, obviously, but the fact that, you know, as a society we have to taint the arts to be able to feed this capitalistic need to have a roof over my head.
At what cost, you know?
Yeah, you know, that's why, you know, God bless little venues, little DIY spaces. They're really the heart of this. Hey, yo, is the printer printing? We're getting some spooky messages sent to us over the airspace. It's gonna be like Shrek memes or something.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Where do you think, to bring it back a little bit, where do you think the turnaround was when you were like what was like your first song that you were like, this is it? Like I kind of got this down now to where I can start releasing my own projects.
I mean, that took years, but I would say by the time I was like 14 or 15,
right on,
that I started writing in a way where I felt like the songs could move with me through time. Because,
like timeless in a way.
Exactly. Kind of. And I think that's kind of my gauge of whether or not I hold on to a song or feel that it's worth working on and putting out into the world. So yeah, actually a lot of songs that I'm planning on releasing down the line were things that I've written like a number of years ago, but they're salvageable. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's always impressive when you can bring a song out of the pocket from years and years and years ago, and it's still like, yeah, I still relate to this, and I still like this. I can listen to a song I've recorded 5 years ago, and I just want to take my headphones off. I can't do it. Yeah. But yeah, your songs really do have like a timeless feel to them. They really feel like they could have been from any generation. The only giveaway is just how high quality the sound recordings are.
Well, I think that was also a big reason why it's taken me so long, because, I'm my own worst critic.
Oh,
and very like just anal retentive about making sure things sound right, and I used to try and do everything myself, the production.
That's hard.
And it is, and then I realized I can't. So,
hence my team of friends with me. I couldn't do it.
It takes a village, it really does. And
a song is a baby, and you're right. It takes a village to raise it.
Yeah. So this EP that's coming out, I mean, it would not exist without other people being involved.
Can you shout out some of the collaborators on this EP, if you don't mind? If there's any that come to mind.
Yeah. I mean, so Anatoly Shmargin, he is the head of Kashka Records, which is in Kiev, Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
And his team, him and the session musicians, I had a string quartet and a string octet work on 2 of the songs off the EP, Redo and Beautiful Friend, respectively. Then there's David Griffiths. He's in Tenby, Wales, and he did the initial production of Feeling Trapped.
Ooh, that's such a good song.
Yeah.
That's such a good song. We'll have a link to that in the description below.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
And Justin Wilkerson, he also goes by Ocean Heights. He's actually in Philly at Repercussion Studios, and that's where I go to do my vocals and to kind of mix and master everything that's been reproduced by the session musicians I mentioned earlier. And then there's Dolma Drums, that's his stage name, I guess, and he's out of Venezuela. He did the symphonic percussion that'll be on
large reach of people that you're getting in here. It's super diverse. I love that.
Yeah,
Was it hard to find people like imagine Ukraine, is there a language barrier? Was it hard to communicate or get people?
Fiverr.
Fucking right, dude. I love Fiverr, man. Shout out, I love Fiverr so much.
I feel like it gets a bad rep in some ways, but when you're starting out and you don't have that network, and you have to find a way to put those feelers out for other creatives, and really there was just so many talented people and amazing people that they're looking for work, they're looking to collaborate, and they're looking to make something awesome. And a lot of
times it just you're going Fiverr and you're like, oh, okay, it's just a job, but a lot of them really enjoy what they do.
Yeah.
I've gotten drums off of Fiverr. It was amazing. We know a friend of ours who does a lot of his work on Fiverr. It usually sounds halfway decent.
Yeah.
I love Fiverr. So going back to the Feeling Trapped, that's the name of the track. Super kick-ass video, by the way. It's a really, really, really cool video. We talked about it a little bit beforehand, but if you don't mind, just explain to the camera, who directed that video?
His name's Mike Brush, and he's also an indie musician in Philly, and he has a band called Rest Etiquette.
We will be getting them on at some point, don't worry.
And super cool guy. Yeah, he actually he had only done like one music video before.
Really?
Mine.
And that looked that good?
Yeah,
that's super cool. Good for him, man.
He was really awesome, and he was just so down and willing to try different things and
keep it creative. You know, try not to give you a cookie cutter video. It's hard nowadays. There's so many music videos out there to like really make one that like stands out.
Yeah, because really it was the concept of the video was my idea, and then it was kind of trying to sort of meet in the middle of, things he would suggest, things I would suggest. And there's a part there are parts in the video where there's like a projector that's projecting like these like old-timey cartoons that are, you know, public domain now, and it was really tough to get those shots because we were in this like production warehouse where a lot of light was coming in. So it was hard to
light bleed. It was hard to get like a clear image.
So we actually had to. There was a set in this studio that was like a jail or something, and then you could kind of go behind it, and it was all like where you're not really supposed to go, and we crawled like through the bars, like
a little prison
to the
escape.
back, yeah, and just so that it would be dark enough to get those shots, which I mean, I was grateful that he was, you know, so dedicated. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, was it, because the set looks really good, was it a set in a warehouse or was that a house?
It was a warehouse, so it was
that
this huge
really great.
This like production suite that specializes in like photography and music videos, and I rented out the space, and thank God there was like nobody else who was using other sets, because sometimes appointments will bleed into each other, and this happened to be a time where I had the whole place to myself, so I could just have us go around and try a lot of different things.
Yeah, just that creative freedom. That's always the heart. That's why I really like this studio, is that it's usually pretty empty, especially when we're here. We get to kind of just jump around, and we technically rent the room over there, but Rob, thank you, Rob. Let's use some of the other spots.
Yeah, that's great.
It's wonderful. Yeah, no, it's such a fantastic video, and I know you mentioned that there might be some more coming up with your next EP that you're planning on dropping soon.
Absolutely. So, I will be doing a music video for one of the songs off the EP called Record Timing, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have Mike direct that one again as well. You know, I'm
switch
gonna
up styles maybe.
Yeah,
try
you know, I'll
different.
reach out and see if he's, you know, free to do it, and if not, you know, it's gonna come out one way or another. You know,
is that regardless of who does it, it's gonna come out.
Exactly.
This EP, like you mentioned, is like a collection, or some of them are previous songs.
Yeah.
Are there any that you've written specifically for the EP, like newer tracks, I'm assuming?
No, these are actually all songs, again, that have sort of been sitting dormant. And really the purpose of this EP was... I sort of look at it as trying to show versatility and diversity in my songwriting and what I do.
It's like a little portfolio. It's like, this is what I can do.
Exactly.
It's like this is what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
This is what I like to do.
Because, I mean, with full-length albums, I feel like there are certain, like, motifs or, like, thematic continuity that makes the album an album. Whereas with this, it's not really meant to be that.
It's more of a collection. It's like a smorgasbord. It's like here. It's like the story so far. This is literally so far.
Or like, you know, you could expect to hear maybe this kind of style
moving forward.
Right.
Now, these songs, where do you think you derived a lot of the inspiration for? Like, what inspired these tracks?
So these in particular, I mean, I wrote them initially, I think, in like 2016, 2017. So I was a freshman in college at the time. And I think they capture a lot of the sort of the zest and excitement of a new chapter in life.
Kind of like the unknown road ahead.
Yeah,
opening
exactly.
A door, not knowing where to go.
Yeah. So... Cool. Yeah, I think it definitely captures that. I mean, one of the songs is literally called Redo, which is, you know, just basically doing a hard reboot on my life, you know.
Sometimes you need that. Sometimes it just needs to get flipped on its head to be able to produce.
I think it happens several times throughout life, a lot of times.
Well, you wake up every day a different person, generally, so it's
a little bit,
a little bit,
know,
just
little changes,
What's the last song you listened to?
Oh God,
if you remember, any you remember.
So I listened to Anita Baker's "Sweet Love" in the car coming here.
Little pump up music.
Yeah.
Get yourself all chilled out.
Yeah, And then I also listened to Jesus to a Child by George Michael.
Ooh.
Which,
I don't think I've ever heard that George Michael song.
Yeah, it was off of his album called Older from, I think, 96. And it was about his, like, longtime partner dying. And,
I didn't know that his partner died. I didn't
yeah,
know about that. Oh,
he
wow.
had, it was, like, right around the time that finally everyone knew he was gay. And he had a partner for a long time, and I think he had passed from AIDS, and so that was like his tribute to him. So.
Shout out to Planned Parenthood for giving AIDS and HIV tests and everything. Please utilize your local Planned Parenthood for those things.
I know that got dark.
Well, you know, I mean, it's just you just keep talking, and sometimes it just ends up in a crazy spot. That's the best part about interviews.
A lot of times, like, I feel like the majority of artists I listen to are dead.
Tragic.
You know?
Dead in a horrible way.
Yeah.
Move the mic over. Like this. Hers? Right here? Get a little behind the scenes in this view. Again, thank you to the crew. I know I keep saying it, but Nico and R.I.C.O, Chris and Emily, thank you so much for coming by. Can I get a time check, you wonderful individuals?
22 minutes.
It's already been 22 minutes. You're a very good interviewee.
Oh.
You're very good at this. This is feels like no time at all.
That's news to me.
So, other than this EP, what do you think is next for Lily Enos?
Oh.
What do you see? More shows? Maybe some.
Well, the goal is definitely a full-length album.
Okay, right on. It's an achievable. It's a scary goal.
Yeah,
but it's achievable.
Because that was really what I write usually in terms of, like, full-length albums.
Okay.
And because there's usually things like sonically that there's like a
thematic,
lot of
kind
thematic
of feel to
thing,
it.
and I feel like the best way for me to tell my story is usually in the form of albums, which is kind of, it flies in the face of what's done now because it's, you know, it's putting singles out.
It's a very single-based, like, musical economy nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like I'm almost having to retrain myself into that sort of way of navigating the industry. But yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine, that now that the EP is finished and it's just about, you know, doing that final listen through and distributing.
That's super exciting. We're all super excited to hear that.
Thank you.
It's going to be really wonderful. I'm super excited to hear the performance today. It's going to be wonderful. Going to be playing some tracks off the new EP.
Yeah.
It's going to be a separate video. Uploaded before this one. This one always comes out after, even though we record it first, and that always confuses me. Lily, thank you. Thank you so much for coming out. This has been such an amazing time.
You're wonderful.
Thank you all for watching. This has been another wonderful episode of Team R.I.C.O's Off the Record. I love you all. Happy Halloween, if it's Halloween, or if you're watching it on Valentine. I don't know. Happy whatever day it is that you're in right now. We're going to get to this performance. Thank you again
Thank you so much.
Woo! Thank you, boys! Woo!